5 beats and a constant drizzle. The vinyl hit starts, the memory sizzles. Same rhythm of rain hitting the window pane. It whispers your name, an echo through the drain. That accidental meeting right beneath the neon glow, a quiet coincidence, watching the traffic flow. Staccato thoughts firing in my weary head, remembering the words that never should have been said. Just a fleeting shadow passing through my space, but your quiet smile changed the gravity of this place. The perfect kind of trouble, a perfect kind of fear. The moment I knew, even though you couldn't stay near. This is the consequence of holding something so bright, a fragile, impossible, of fading into the night. A ticket stub, memory pressed into my soul. We had the whole world but lost all control. The unsent chance, the letter I never signed. A rainy day echo that I can't leave behind. The city slowed down, just us beneath the awning. We shared a 5-minute secret till the morning light was dawning. You talked about forever, I whispered back we tried, knowing all along our timeline was passing by. Plug sent bass running, a pause beneath the mood, a perfect snapshot moment. Misunderstood, I wish I could unlearn the truth the clock was keeping. The shallow promises while the deeper sorrow was sleeping. Just a fleeting shadow passing through my space, but your quiet smile changed the gravity of this place. The perfect kind of trouble, a perfect kind of fear. The moment I knew, even though you couldn't stay near. This is the consequence of holding something so bright, a fragile, impossible, of fading into the night. A ticket stub, memory pressed into my soul. We had the whole world but lost all control. The unsent chance, the letter I never signed. A rainy day echo that I can't leave behind. We were a promise built on borrowed time, didn't you know? A perfect obstacle designed to hurt when we let go. Now the clock keeps ticking, a constant steady beat, the kind of heartbreak you can taste, sticky and bittersweet. I catch a ghost in every puddle on the street. This is the consequence of holding something so bright, a fragile, impossible, of fading into the night. A ticket stub, memory pressed into my soul. We had the whole world but lost all control. The unsent chance, the letter I never signed. A rainy day echo that I can't leave behind. Yeah, I can't leave it behind. Just the rain and the hill, the chance I couldn't kill. Ticking fades into silence. Ticking fades into silence. Oh, 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 hey. Found you standing where the streetlights fade, just a flicker in the neon arcade, a quiet radius of chance. Ooh, yeah. We lock eyes across the crowded expanse. That sweet effortless geometry, the only part that made sense to me. We skipped the forecast, ignored the signs, and built our world on parallel lines. But every promise has a shelf life, and we knew exactly how the story would end. A borrowed minute in the city sprawl, waiting for the final curtain call. Now I trace the memory of your goodbye. It's the contingent echo in the sky, the quiet static on the dial tone low, the sweetest heartache that I didn't know. We were a beautiful accident of time, a perfect rhythm with a broken rhyme. The love that lingered though it couldn't stay, just the echo of a distant day. Archives of the rain still play the scene, the weight of words that hung between. No bitter tears, just a gentle shift of pace. A lonely quietness settled in your space. We signed a chapter with a silent vow to only keep the goodness keeping now. We couldn't fight the gravity pulling us apart, but we kept the blueprint etched upon the heart. Now I trace the memory of your goodbye. It's the contingent echo in the sky, a quiet static on the dial tone low, the sweetest heartache that I didn't know. We were a beautiful accident of time, a perfect rhythm with a broken rhyme. The love that lingered though it couldn't stay, just the echo of a distant day. I'm not searching for closure, just the truth. That even fleeting moments hold the proof. The world spun faster when you stood beside me. It took that breakage just to finally guide me. Tell them it's true. To see the architecture of the mist, see the architecture, to honor every single kiss. Just the echo, fading slow, the contingent echo, residual light of our goodbye. Good night, good night, good night.
The map of my routine is torn in two. Every Tuesday I keep running into you. By the bookstore on the corner, near the fountain light, a perfect stranger written just for me in fading ink and white. You flash that blinding smile, a familiar cruel design. I wonder if you notice how our timelines intertwine. This constant overlap, it feels like deja vu. A million little chances guiding me back to you, but the air between us whispers of a boundary line, a gorgeous fleeting fiction that was never truly mine. We are just a beautiful accident, a cinematic blur, a moment caught in amber that can never quite occur. We trade a dozen summers in a half-hour rendezvous, then fade back to the silence where I'm not allowed to move. If love's a cosmic current, why is the tide so strong against the shore? We're the story that the ending simply cannot tolerate anymore. I tried to scrub the memories beneath the falling rain, but every drop reminded me of shelter from the pain. I watched the yellow streetlights paint the window of my room and relive every secret that escape that lonely gloom. I know the distance holding us is wider than the miles. It's hidden in the reason why we only meet in trials. This constant overlap, it feels like deja vu. A million little chances guiding me back to you, but the air between us whispers of a boundary line, a gorgeous fleeting fiction that was never truly mine. We are just a beautiful accident, a cinematic blur, a moment caught in amber that can never quite occur. We trade a dozen summers in a half-hour rendezvous, then fade back to the silence where I'm not allowed to move. If love's a cosmic current, why is the tide so strong against the shore, with a story that the ending simply cannot tolerate anymore? I collect the tiny fragments, every accidental touch. The universe is mocking me for wanting you too much. This promise of forever only lives inside the space where fate allows our shadows to reflect upon this place too much. We are just a beautiful accident, a cinematic blur, a moment caught in amber that can never quite occur. We trade a dozen summers in a half-hour rendezvous, then fade back to the silence where I'm not allowed to move. If love's a cosmic current, why is the tide so strong against the shore, with a story that the ending simply cannot tolerate anymore? A beautiful accident, yeah, that's all we are. A constant lonely rerun, a cinematic. I'll see you next Tuesday, if the universe allows, then we'll fade back out again. Fade The clock starts ticking, that's how I recall the scene. Stumble right into you where the light was green. Rain came down heavy, washing out the street. Your laugh was the only sound I heard that felt complete. We stood beneath the awning, avoiding the storm. I recognized your warmth before my hand was warm. That momentary flash, a spark in the gray. I was falling right into you, though I tried to stay away. It was a subtle error in the blueprint of time. We built a fragile future on a fractured line. We swore forever in that accidental space. Now just the outline of your memory I chase. Oh, the perfect coincidence that shattered into dust. A fleeting fragile moment of misjudgment. meant to last. It was a subtle error in the blueprint of time. We built a fragile future on a fractured line. We swore forever in that accidental space. Now just the outline of your memory I chase. Oh, the perfect coincidence that shattered into dust. A fleeting fragile moment of misplaced trust. Just the echo of the rain on the pain. It remains, yeah. The subtle error remains. Ooh, subtle error. Ticking clock slows and fades. The city was washed clean, gray light on the pane. I missed the last stop, standing out in the rain. I wasn't looking for anchors or any bright spark, just waiting for sundown to swallow the dark. Then you stepped in the archway, shaking off water, and everything shifted much deeper and hotter. Oh, the 8 o'clock coincidence, a perfect mistake, the promise of forever. For heaven's sake, the way your smile broke the weather, a flash in the gloom. Now it haunts every corner of this lonely room. A timeline rewritten by one sudden look, the page where our future was silently took. We spoke in low whispers of things we both feared, the history we carried, the future that neared. You wore borrowed courage like a hand-me-down coat. Every word that you uttered, a perfectly timed note. We knew it was fragile, a ship made of glass, something too lovely for reality to pass. Oh, the 8 o'clock coincidence, a perfect mistake, the promise of forever. For heaven's sake, the way your smile broke the weather, a flash in the gloom. Now it haunts every corner of this lonely room. A timeline rewritten by one sudden look, the page where our future was sadly took. We traded months for minutes, betting on fate, then sealed the whole story behind the rusted gate. Streetlight through a faded yellow hue on asphalt wet with rain. Saw your silhouette and every logic cell misread the pain. It's a kinetic coincidence, a glitch within the timeline spin. The way your sudden smile brought all the static memories rushing in. The way you spoke my name, just one soft syllable, controlled and low. The only thing that shifted was a careful balance I had built to grow. We traded measured pleasantries across that fragile boundary line, but both our minds were anchored to the chapter we both left behind. This city keeps our secrets wrapped in final grooves and haze. It knows the impossible love we lost in those electric days. We said goodbye a decade back, but memory is slow to break. Just a flicker of the flame that time and distance couldn't take. I remember how we planned to outrun every obstacle in sight, trading promises that shimmered in the neon city light. I see the subtle sadness hidden deep beneath your steady gaze, a silent recognition of the separate, divergent paths we chase. We are two parallel lines, destined never to connect or meet. Just these accidental moments on a lonely, rain-slick street. We trade and measure pleasantries across that fragile boundary line, but both our minds were anchored to the chapter we both left behind. This city keeps our secrets wrapped in final grooves and haze. It knows the impossible love we lost in those electric days. We said goodbye a decade back, but memory is slow to break. Just a flicker of the flame that time and distance couldn't take. We're standing here pretending that the closure wasn't sealed that night, just letting silence swallow all the things we know are true and right. Whoa, true and right. You can't go back, the script is done, the credits already rolled. No, no turning back. Just the bittersweet reflection, a story better left untold. Kinetic coincidence, a momentary freeze, the tear behind the smile that time couldn't appease. Yeah, time couldn't appease. Goodbye again, for real this time.
Where the transit lines collide, a perfect theorem that the world denied. You held a paper cup beneath the street lamp glow and offered me a smile, soft and slow. It wasn't physics, just pure serendipity, a fleeting truth carved out of gravity. I knew the orbit was too wide to keep, a silent promise that we couldn't steal. This residual light, it haunts the periphery, a phantom echo what we couldn't be. We sketched forever on a rainy window pane, but the future arrived and erased the name, and just a memory, sharp as a late night key. The ghost of love that wasn't meant for me. Yeah, I catalog the fragments in my mind's archive, the conversations that we kept alive, the impossible nature of our synchronicity, a fragile bridge built over deep velocity. We said goodbye with words we didn't mean, a necessary split, a desolate scene. Now every dark hour carries your silhouette, alone, quieted. I can't quite forget it. This residual light, it haunts the periphery, a phantom echo what we couldn't be. We sketched forever on a rainy window pane, but the future arrived and erased the name. Now just a for me. Tell me, does the concept still hold weight? The theoretical moment before fate. We were two integers that couldn't reconcile. Oh, impossible style. Just the structure of things, babe, and how they fail. Yeah, you know the drill. I chase that flicker down the avenue of sleep. Ooh, so deep. This residual light, it haunts a periphery. A phantom echo what we couldn't be. We sketched forever on a rainy window pane. But the future ride and erase the name on just a memory. Sharp as a late night key. The ghost of love that wasn't meant for me. Residual light, just the afterglow. How slow. The promise that we had to let go. That we had to let go. Still shines in the dark. Still shines. Half past the hour and the city whips off steam. I watched you waiting there, living out a daydream. You didn't know I cataloged the way your hair fell down in the specific corner of this quiet part of town. The air grew thick and heavy, a humid velvet blue. That perfect stranger smile I've been hiding from you. It was a question of time, a matter of seconds missed, just where the streetlights intersected and we couldn't resist that streetlight geometry, the way our pathways crossed and burned. A moment of pure blinding fate we swore we never learned. Whoa, never learned. The rain came down harder, washing colors from the frame. You looked across the traffic, finally spoke my name. Or maybe it was just the echo, the wish I always held inside. A silent, sudden truth that I never could confide. We had a window open, brief and dangerously clean, before the bus pulled up and ended the entire scene. It was a question of time, a matter of seconds missed, just where the streetlights intersected and we couldn't resist that streetlight geometry, the way our pathways crossed and burned. A moment of pure blinding fate we swore we never learned. Never learned. Never learned. In your gaze, if I had just moved forward through the metropolitan haze, one small reckless step could have redefined the line and pulled your quiet sadness out and made your secret mine. Ooh, if I only knew, yeah, if I only moved. It was a question of time, a matter of seconds missed, just where the streetlights intersected. We couldn't resist that streetlight geometry, the way our pathways crossed and burned. A moment of pure blinding faith we swore we never learned. And the clock keeps ticking. Can
sofa on the slick asphalt floor. You were halfway to leaving when I walked through the door. A casual collision in a hallway of blue. I knew instantly the future I wouldn't share with you. Just a moment of weather, beautiful mistake. The silent vow we knew we could never truly make. That accidental smile, it didn't need a name. We both read the forecast, we wouldn't finish the game. Two perfect tangents touching just to prove the line. Everything felt brighter yet strictly confined. We were only ever a seasonal transit pass, built for short lines and shadows on the frosted glass. A perfect geometry that could never align. A goodbye written softly like a distant sign. I keep the memory safely in the archive of my soul, knowing some stories are meant to just make us whole. I remember the rhythm of that solitary night. The world felt so fresh, bathed in neon white. We didn't speak forever, we spoke of right now, keeping the heartbreak tucked behind a cultured brow. We traded no futures, accepted the frame, knowing the distance was larger than the length of your name. That accidental smile, it didn't need a name. We both read the forecast, we wouldn't finish the game. Two perfect tangents touching just to prove the line. Everything felt brighter yet strictly confined. We were only ever a seasonal transit pass, built for short lines and shadows on the frosted glass. A perfect geometry that could never line. A goodbye written softly like a distant sign. I keep the memory safely in the archive of my soul, knowing some stories are meant to just make us whole. We knew the limit, we felt the tether fray. No tears were wasted when you had to walk away. Just a quiet calculus of two divergent stars. We left the promises behind us, locked in coffee bars. Whoa, we made it beautiful, temporary and true. Sing it back. The impossible love became the memory of you. Seasonal past. Yeah, we knew it wouldn't last. The way the streetlight found your face that night. We stood beneath the awning, drenched in amber light. You spoke of trivial things, a coming change of plans. I watched your hands move, tracing maps across the fence. And in that humid air, the rain began to slow. A perfect sudden hush where fear began to grow. I felt the pressure rising, sharp beneath the ribs. The heavy aching truth that silence always gives. I watched the way your smile just paused and caught the breeze. That simple, blinding moment brought me to my knees. Oh, I keep a careful catalog of every quiet sound, the archive of unsaid things, a memory cabinet of mine. It's where the rain still falls the hardest on that single afternoon. The ghost of all the futures lost, arriving far too soon. It's locked behind the fear of breaking something whole and true. This lonely museum of me and you. The path diverged now with a fight or hurried blame. fires we postpone, leaving only ashes of what we might have known. Oh, I keep a careful catalog of every quiet sign, the archive of unsaid things, a memory cabinet of mine. It's where the rain still falls the hardest on that single afternoon. The ghost of all the futures lost, arriving far too soon. Just a foul marked folly in the deep dark blue. Ooh, the deep blue. A simple faded photograph of me and you, still waiting for the words to finally break the seal. Yeah, crazy. The archive is the only thing that feels real, so real. It's all that's left of us. We met by the water stain, under the drizzle of June. You were sketching out some theory beneath the light of the moon. I saw the angle of your smile, a perfect line I couldn't resist. A sudden shift in my whole world, a future I hadn't yet kissed. I knew the calculus was shaky, the geometry unsound, but I loved the way you made the pavement feel like sacred ground. You were always my contingency plan, the soft landing when I fell, a borrowed chapter, a temporary man, the story I couldn't tell. We built a house upon the sand, defying gravity's rule, but a love without an anchor hand is always bound to cool. Bound to cool, yeah. Remember whispering forever, like we invented the phrase, in those midnight hours together, blurring all the complicated days. We traded secrets for promises, ignoring every warning sign. We spoke of futures far away, crossing boundaries that weren't mine. I held your hand and saw the bright world through the filters of your hope, but every bright star has its burden dangling on a fragile rope. You were always my contingency plan, the soft landing when I fell, a borrowed chapter, a temporary man, the story I couldn't tell. We built a house upon the sand, defying gravity's rule, but a love without an anchor hand is always bound to cool. Now the archive of our moments feels heavy, weighted down, that engineered joy dissolved completely, nowhere to be found. I traced the edges of your photograph, just the quiet aftermath, half-life of a laugh. I signed the papers of our sorrow when the rain began to pour. There are no backups left to borrow, nothing we can fight for. You were always my contingency plan, the soft landing when I fell, a borrowed chapter, a temporary man, the story I couldn't tell. We built a house upon the sand, defying gravity's rule, but a love without an anchor hand is always bound to cool, always bound to cool. Just a memory of rain and that angle of your face, your face, your face, stuck in this empty space. The contingency plan. the wrong, yeah. Hey, 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 hey. The rain hit the pavement like an accidental cue. I was tracing the cracks where the sidewalk ran through. Then the world went quiet, just a cinematic slowdown, when your sudden smile hit me across the crowded town. It was kismet in monochrome, a perfect fleeting stain. I knew every calculation was altered by the rain. We spoke for 90 seconds, maybe less, maybe more. And I knew the ending before I opened the door. It was the clearest signal, a frequency tuned high, a potential forever reflected in your eyes. But the wire was cut and the power went down slow. We were an interrupted broadcast, a story we won't know, just the residue of laughter, a beautiful despair, an impossible love hanging in the metropolitan head. I keep that archive feeling, the blueprint of the touch, the way your hand moves slightly, meaning maybe too much. I've tried to reconstruct the scene, the ambient decay, the perfect cruel coincidence that guided us that day. I was waiting for a promise, you were waiting for a sign. We built a temporary shelter right upon the fault line. And though our separate paths were set before the afternoon, I still search for that echo in the light of the late moon. It was the clearest signal, of frequencies tuned high, a potential forever reflected in your eyes. But the wire was cut and the power went down slow. We were an interrupted broadcast, a story we won't know, just the residue of laughter, a beautiful despair, an impossible love hanging in the metropolitan head. I felt the gravity shift the moment we aligned, leaving only these memories for me to rewind. It wasn't a failure, just an unfortunate truth. Some perfect moments aren't meant for proof, they exist just to remind us the scope of what could be, before the static returned and the distance set us free. Set us free. Set us free. Set us free. The static returns now, quiet and slow. We were never meant to bloom, but the seed had to grow. The interruption was the lesson was the grace, just a beautifully sad ghost in this forgotten space. The final cut.
I found a faded photograph today, you know, stuck in the pages where the story ceased to grow. It was the summer when the pavement shone like glass. We made a vow the future wouldn't let us pass. You wore that smile, the one that burned the city bright, and kissed my cheek beneath the lonely yellow streetlight. We drew out lines of where we thought free. We had the chance to walk the road we swore we'd keep, but we let the rain wash out the ink we laid so deep. We knew the cost, the risk, the storm that we would face, so we stopped the car and left without a single trace. We had the world mapped out, a promise we could share, and we were the architects who burned the map right there. Whoa, the map we burned. They said our love was reckless, just a childish scheme, a fleeting rush awaking from a teenage dream. And I believe the whispers pull my hand away, afraid of fighting battles we might lose someday. Now every midnight finds me cold inside this room, wishing I'd stood against the shadow and the gloom. I see those lines of where we thought we ought to be, tracing a life where you and I were finally free. We had the chance to walk the road we swore we'd keep, but we let the rain wash out the ink we laid so deep. We knew the cost, the risk, the storm that we would face, so we stopped the car and left without a single trace. We had the world mapped out, a promise we could share, and we were the architects who burned the map right there. It wasn't fate or hurdles that we couldn't climb, it was the fear that stole our perfect precious time. And now I stand among the ashes and the smoke, a silent grief for every promise that we broke. Why did we break it? Oh, the biggest mistake. And we let the rain wash out the ink we laid so deep. We knew the cost, the risk, the storm that we would face, so we stopped the car and left without a single trace. We had the world mapped out, a promise we could share, and we were the architects who burned the map right there. We burned the map right there. Yeah, we burned it all, just ashes in the pouring rain. Ooh, the map we burned. It was the map we burned. It was us. We charted constellation in a borrowed time zone, knew the flight path was fragile, built on borrowed stone. The syllabus of us was marked by expiration, a perfect rhythm uninterrupted by the station. The weight of the unsaid, a solemn oath we took to close the chapter early before the pages shook. This is the unsigned epilogue, the silence where the ink should run, a blueprint for a future that was never meant to be begun. We saw the obstacle, darling, built into the design, but for 3 months of sunshine, your smile was wholly mine. Whoa, wholly mine. Remember that drizzle night, the accidental symmetry, a shared umbrella under fluorescent chemistry. I fell into your orbit, smooth and never the bribe. The world went bright, but we knew eventually it had to stop. We traded promises that carried no legal weight, just whispered fragments of a shared impossible fate. And this is the unsigned epilogue, the silence where the ink should run, a blueprint for a future that was never meant to be begun. We saw the obstacle, darling, built into the design. But for 3 months of sunshine, your smile was wholly mine. Yeah, design. They say time heals the fractures, but it just organizes the dust, turns heavy tears to silver, replaces needing with trust. I don't regret the ending, just the space it leaves behind, the kind of lovely heartbreak that you rarely get to find. Ooh, yeah, rarely find. And this is the unsigned epilogue, the silence where the ink should run, a blueprint for a future that was never meant to be begun. We saw the obstacle, darling, built into the design. But for 3 months of sunshine, your smile was wholly mine. Oh, wholly mine. The memory is proof enough, I swear. We built a forever suspended in the air. No tears, just true pain, just an unsigned epilogue, faded to the rain. Ooh, ooh,
I remember the heat of the summer street, the way the rain began.
Just a flicker of light, you stepped into my sight, not part of the master plan.
A random meeting, an unplanned collision of two separate worlds. Your laugh was a melody, breaking through the debris, making flags of peace unfurl.
We talked for hours and hours beneath the awning shelter. I saw the forever in your eyes, though our timeline was much shorter.
We are just the prologue, not the final scene. We plan to keep a perfect interruption, a promise we can never soar. This is the unwritten chapter, the place where the pencil broke, the pages torn. A love that blossomed in the dark and died before the light was born.
I still trace the shadow of your hand, a ghost inside this lonely night. We shared the bright world for a minute, blinded by the sudden light.
But every memory you gave me holds a cost that we must pay. The silent obstacle was lock them safely where they can't be harmed.
We were too good to be true,
too beautifully charmed. We are just the prologue, not the final scene. We plan to keep a perfect interruption, a promise we can never sow or reap. This is the unwritten chapter, the place where the pencil broke, the pages torn, a love that blossomed in the dark and died before the light was born.
The light was born and faded fast.
Yeah.
Only the memory lasts. The page is torn.
The city lights were blurring bright, a silver screen of pouring rain. I ducked beneath that awning tight, trying hard to shield a sudden pain.
And through the mist, your eyes appeared, a coincidence I couldn't ignore, a silent comfort that was steered to wash the lonely from the core.
That simple laugh, a sudden sun broke through the gray of the afternoon.
We spoke of futures just begun beneath the shadow of the moon.
We made a promise in the rain, a perfect vow beneath the fall. We swore that forever would remain the easiest truth of all. Now this umbrella holds a space where two hearts used to beat as one, and every drop that hits this place reminds me that the good is done.
Yeah, the good is done.
Yeah, the good is done.
I walk these streets alone tonight, the pavement shiny and reflecting ghosts. The world you made was sharp and bright, but now it fades among the lonely hosts.
I see the obstacles that grew, the silent wall between our hands, and know the loving that was true now falls apart like shifting sands. We made a promise in the rain, a perfect vow beneath the fall. We swore that forever would remain the easiest truth of all. Now this umbrella holds a space where two hearts used to beat as one, and every drop that hits this place reminds me that the good is done.
You called it off with just a word,
A gentle breakup in the light,
a promise whispered never heard.
lost in the shadows of the night.
I feel the tears mix with the shower.
Oh, wishing we could stop the clock, return to that impossible hour. Whoa, we made a promise in the rain, a perfect vow beneath the fall. We swore that forever would remain the easiest truth of all. Now this umbrella holds a space where two hearts used to beat as one, and every drop that hits this place reminds me that the good is done. stood beneath the awning, just the two of us to find. Rain blurring all the city lights, the space we left behind.
I still recall that silent promise, the one your tired eyes confessed, the kind of momentary light that put the heavy world to rest.
We traced the lines of fate that we were never meant to hold. We knew the cost of every story, bravely left untold. That forever word you whispered was a dream, a fragile fading start, a brighter world we had to keep inside a beating broken heart. But the compass always pulls us back toward where the shadows lie,
and the silence starts to win the moment we stop trying.
There's a space between the chapters where we never fit back in. We waited for the ending before we let the love begin. We learned the blueprint of goodbye before we learn to stay. It hurts to pack the shadows of the future we won't play.
But darling, if love is distance, then we mastered every mile. I'll trade the promise of us for the memory of your smile. Tonight the streetlights feel much colder than they used to shine, just echoes of a laughter that keeps haunting my design.
The archive of our accidental moments, perfectly preserved and sealed. We leave the story where the impossible was finally revealed.
Oh, we built a castle out of sand against the strongest
and we knew this wave was coming.
Nowhere left for us to hide.
The hardest love is choosing when to finally release.
Ooh, let it go.
To find a temporary, painful, necessary kind of peace. We learn the blueprint of goodbye before we learn to stay. It hurts to pack the shadows of the future we won't play.
But darling, if love is distance, then we mastered every mile.
Every mile,
I'll trade the promise of us
for the memory of your smile.
just the memory of your smile.
The distance we kept was the only way to be.
Good night to forever.
Yeah, goodbye.
The city was a wet gray blur, the kind of night when dreams occur. We didn't trade a single word, just glances that the streetlights stirred. You held your coffee like a shield, the only truth you let revealed was that soft light behind your eyes, a summer hidden in disguise. And I call that night the last good accident, the only time that time made sense. We built a promise out of air, I never knew a sweeter tear. It wasn't love that broke my heart, it was perfect, fragile start, knowing that forever wasn't meant. For that one night, the last good accident. Now I drive past that same pane of glass, watching all the futures pass. The rain still falls in quiet rows, but the neon where your memory glows is just a flicker in the dark, a frozen moment leaving its mark. I replay every shared mistake, the silent vows we failed to make. And I call that night the last good accident, the only time that time made sense. We built a promise out of air, I never knew a sweeter tear. It wasn't love that broke my heart, it was the perfect fragile start, knowing that forever wasn't meant. For that one night, the last good across, no peace to mend. Maybe the obstacle was fate. Whoa. We met too early or too late, just two ghosts walking different lines, holding tight to silent signs. I miss the comfort of the rain, it feels less lonely than this pain. And I call that night the last good accident, the only time that time made sense. We built a promise out of air, I never knew a sweeter tear. It wasn't love that broke my heart, it was the perfect fragile start, knowing that forever wasn't meant. For that one night, the last good accident, the last good accident. A perfect start that had to cease, oh no. Just that one night beneath the gray, the one I never chased away. Let it go.
I still recall the afternoon, the silver light before the rain. We shared a hurried glance beneath the awning, years ignored my pain.
That accident, perfect moment when your laughter started ringing clear.
Didn't need a map or compass, just a feeling keeping us right here.
I memorized the things you wouldn't say, the promises left on the shelf.
We built a silent world that's sweetest, and just for us, and no one else.
The obstacle was always present, a shadow on that bright world we defined,
and all the future never reached us.
your impression lingers in my mind.
picture that sweet smile you gave me, a fleeting glimpse of paradise.
We knew the risks, we know the danger, paid the heavy, silent price.
I remember every single downpour, the tears that fell just like the shower.
It felt like we were meant to happen. We're stuck outside the golden hour. We are just two fading coordinates, a puppet round we couldn't take, a masterpiece of wooden wishes for the history we couldn't make. The distance felt like gravity, pulling us back to where we started. A compass spinning uselessly for two souls who were broken-hearted.
That rain came down to wash away the promise, but the truth remains.
Every tear became a landmark, marking all the heartache and the change.
If love is just a chance encounter, why does this memory feel so deep?
It's the last sweet dream that I still keep. Fading coordinates, we never reached the perfect spot, did we?
No, no, just a memory of your smile, that bright wall. The coordinates are fading out,
Fading out,
lost the route we meant to follow.
lost forever in the
Lost forever.
lost forever in the If I escape you, then pavement below. We charted the stars where the city lights glow. Your hand in my jacket, a fragile defense against all the noise and the consequence. We built an oasis on borrowed time, but history knows we were out of the climb. This wasn't about the distance or space. It was the right year, the wrong season, wrong place. We are a chronology error, a beautiful sight, the perfect chord played in the middle of night. We found no full spectrum, but the clock wouldn't stand. You are my memory, not meant to transcend. Not meant to transcend. I remember the clay, but it hesitates. watching the fence we couldn't leave. I promise we couldn't eternally keep. This doesn't involve that get the passion on me. It was the wrong soil for planting our seed. We are a chronology error, a beautiful slide, a perfect chord fit in the middle of night. We sound a full spectrum, but the clock wouldn't end. You are my memory, not been to change. Not been to change. You gathered all chaos just to prove it was true. That calculus failed when it turned out to us too. So I keep that being a whisper that's gonna leave me impossible. I come It was a Tuesday, the light was low. We met by the fountain where the shadows grow. You laughed at the weather, the sudden downpour. I knew right then what I couldn't ignore. The way that you looked at me bright and true. I saw the whole future but not with you. We talked about distance and paths we were on. Knew this perfect moment would soon be gone. But for one perfect hour we built a small world before the necessity of the real unfurled. It was a parallel promise, a beautiful lie. We watched the future fade in the corner of your eye. We swore forever, though we knew we were standing still. Just two temporary shadows on a lonely hill. Now I keep the archive of your bright fleeting smile. It was worth the sadness, worth the while. That reckless feeling I held in my hand, a bright burning candle I couldn't command. We traded secrets under streetlights tonight, knowing goodbye was just past the daylight. You mentioned your vows, the life you had made, and that's when the bright world began to fade. We talked about distance and paths we were on. Knew this perfect moment would soon be gone. But for one perfect hour we built a small world before the necessity of the real unfurled. temporary shadows on a lonely hill. Now I keep the archive of your bright fleeting smile. It was worth the sadness, worth the while. You drew a clear line right there in the mist, the hardest farewell that ever was kissed. It wasn't the distance, it wasn't the fear, just two separate orbits that couldn't steer. Whoa, couldn't steer, yeah. It was a parallel promise, a beautiful light. We watched the future fade in the corner of your eye. We swore forever, though we knew we were standing still, just two temporary shadows on a lonely hill. Now I keep the archive of your bright fleeting smile. It was worth the sadness, worth the while. Just the rain falling down on that solitary night, keeping the promise of a fading light. The archive stays open forever on fire. City was a watercolor blur. 9 a.m. late autumn chill. You spilled your coffee, a minor tremor, standing utterly still.
Your smile a bright, impossible currency against the gray. We spoke for 10 minutes, but the gravity meant we couldn't stay.
I saw the diamond gleam, a silent, beautiful obstacle. But we talked like two halves of a singular chronicle. Ooh, yeah. We are static in the untangled air, a beautiful glitch in the feed, a momentary lighthouse flare, planting an impossible seed. If timing was a different calculus, if the rain stopped yesterday, we'd walk out of this circumstance. But destiny won't let us stray, won't let us stray. Trace the sidewalk lines, talking philosophy in the mundane. And for a flash, the world felt mine, absolving all the pain. I memorized the shadow that your lashes left upon your cheek. A perfect polished memory, the secret I won't speak. We traded futures that we both knew could never breathe. A silent, sorrowful bouquet of promise we must leave. We are static in the untangled air, a beautiful glitch in the feed, a momentary lighthouse flare, planting an impossible seed. If timing was a different calculus, if the rain stopped yesterday, we'd walk out of this circumstance. But destiny won't let us stray, never let it respond. This arcade of blue, this bittersweet light. We knew the script, we knew the end of the night.
Just ghosts in the frame,
just echoes of sound. A moment we stole before we hit the ground. Oh, yeah. The pavement dried the promise that we just exchanged. A look and walked into the time. The static fades now.
Charted constellation in a borrowed time zone. Knew the flight path was fragile, built on borrowed stone. The syllabus of our us was marked by expiration, a perfect rhythm interrupted by the station. The weight of the unsaid, a solemn oath we took to close the chapter early, before the pages shook. And this is the unsigned epilogue, the silence where the ink should run, a blueprint for a future that was never meant to be begun. We saw the obstacle, darling, built into the design. But for 3 months of sunshine, your smile was wholly mine. Oh, wholly mine. Oh, wholly mine. Remember that drizzle night, the accidental symmetry, a shared umbrella under fluorescent chemistry. I fell into your orbit, a smooth, inevitable drop. The world went bright, but we knew eventually it had to stop. We traded promises that carried no legal weight, just whispered fragments of a shared impossible fate. And this is the unsigned epilogue, the silence where the ink should run, a blueprint for a future that was never meant to be begun. We saw the obstacle, darling, built into the design. But for 3 months of sunshine, your smile was wholly mine. They say time heals the fractures, but it just organizes the dust, turns heavy tears to silver, replaces needing with trust. I don't regret the ending, just the space it leaves behind, the kind of lovely heartbreak that you rarely get to find. Oh. And this is the unsigned epilogue, the silence where the ink should run, the blueprint for a future that was never meant to be. We saw the obstacle, darling, built into the design. But for 3 months of sunshine, your smile was wholly mine. Wholly mine. Yeah. Wholly mine. The memory is proof enough, I swear. It's proof enough. We built a forever, suspended in the air. Tears, just truth, baby. Just an unsigned epilogue.
Streetlights blurred the pattern on the pane, felt like history repeating the rain. You pulled your jacket tight against the chill, a hollow silence on the windowsill. We talked in circles carefully, choosing words, afraid to let the truth escape like startled birds. I saw the obstacle standing in the light, and we chose the future over that rainy night. And every path we took was painted out, a beautiful exit we couldn't figure out. We stood right there at the edge of the fire line, just 1 footfall from making you completely mine. This is the bruise of the almost, the weight of the might have been, the perfect portrait that we never let begin. Unfinished symmetry, that's all we ever were. 2 separate timelines we could not transfer, the love that found the one mountain too tall. Watching the silent promise slowly fall. I remember tracing patterns on your hand, faint goodbye written in the shifting sand. You offered me a are built by fate, not by design. Leaving only echoes in this heart of mine. Oh, the echo. This is the bruise of the almost, the weight of the might have been, the perfect portrait that we never let begin, unfinished symmetry. That's all we ever were. Two separate timelines we could not transfer. The love that found the one mountain too tall. Watching the silent promise slowly fall. Unfinished symmetry, still haunting me. Still haunting the ghost of what we swore we'd never be. Just the ghost of rain and you and me. The memory, you and me. Fade out.
We met on the marble during the downpour sound. A strange chromatic residue where logic couldn't be found.
I saw your smile reflected in the puddles on the street. A borrowed second, bittersweet, designed for brief retreat. The world went silent, just the hiss of the tides on a wet lane. We knew the ending even before we whispered the first name.
All we knew,
A flawless fatal architecture built too pure to stand at all.
it was chromatic residue, that impossible hue, the accidental symmetry of me and you. We seal the history with a final gentle sigh, a perfect memory saved beneath the closing sky.
You handed back the promise like a coat I couldn't wear. No tears, no shouting, just a quiet knowing stare.
That cultured confidence, the way we handled the heartbreak. We both understood the silent rules we couldn't break.
The world went silent, just the hiss of the tides on the wet lane. We knew the ending even before we whispered the first name. That first name, a flawless fatal architecture built to beauty to stand at all.
It was chromatic residue, that impossible hue, the accidental symmetry of me and you. We sealed the history with a final gentle sigh, a perfect memory saved beneath the closing sky.
We left the door open, just a sliver of light, yeah. Knowing the distance will consume it through the night. But the frame of that moment, the way the light fell right.
That clean break echoes now, keeping the past bright.
So bright,
That memory, chromatic residue fading slow. Just the history we needed, the seed we couldn't grow. Couldn't grow, no. A closing sky.
A final goodbye. starts ticking, that's how I recall the scene. Stumble right into you, where the light was green. Rain came down heavy, washing out the street. Your laugh was the only sound I heard that felt complete. We stood beneath the awning, avoiding the storm. I recognized your warmth before my hand was warm. That momentary flash, a spark in the gray. I was falling right into you, though I tried to stay away. It was a subtle error in the blueprint of time. We built a fragile future on a fractured line. We swore forever in that accidental space. Now just the outline of your memory I chase. Oh, the perfect coincidence that shattered into dust. A fleeting, fragile moment of misplaced trust. The promises we whispered felt solid and true. The world felt so simple, just me and just you. We paused the whole rotation, stole a moment or two, but fate had an edit before the night was through. We talked about horizons that we wouldn't miss, sealed every single secret with a gentle kiss. It wasn't a warning, it was just the law. The obstacle was standing there, the flaw we never saw. It was a subtle error in the blueprint of time. We built a fragile future on a fractured line. We swore forever in that accidental space. Now just the outline of your memory I chase. Oh, the perfect coincidence that shattered into dust. A fleeting, fragile moment of misplaced trust. I know the reason why we had to fold the hands. Two separate compasses in a lonely promised land. The weight of the moment was too much to withstand. In a quicksand, ooh, sinking down. We tried to rewrite destiny, but paper ripped too fast, too fast. I guess those golden moments just were never meant to last. It was a subtle error in the blueprint of time. We built a fragile future on a fractured line. We swore forever in that accidental space. Now just the outline of your memory I chase. Oh, the perfect coincidence that shattered into dust. A fleeting, fragile moment of misplaced trust. Just the echo of the rain on the pane. It remains, yeah. The subtle error remains. Ooh, subtle error. Ticking clock slows and fades.
Used to walk this avenue, tracing lines you left in the mist. A casual symmetry, the one true date I could not resist. We spoke beneath the city glare, beneath that static soft light haze. Just a fleeting happenstance, measured out in rainy days, yeah. Now the corner feels empty, the echo of your laughter thin, like a jazz riff that stops too soon, before the true melody sets in. It was sidelined serendipity, a beautiful impossible glitch. We saw forever in a glance, then the timeline started to switch. The impossible chapter, bound in blue and left upon the shelf. Yeah, I keep that memory warm, just to remind myself. You had that easy, effortless smile, the kind that cuts through all the noise, yeah. A quiet promise in your eyes amidst the hurry of the city's poise. We shared one coffee, watched the steam rise, talking maps we never roamed. We built a temporary kingdom, found a fragile, transient home. I knew the clock was ticking down, every second borrowed, not earned. A lesson in attachment that I desperately had not learned. It was Sidelined Serendipity, a beautiful, impossible glitch. We saw forever in a glance, then the timeline started to switch. The impossible chapter, bound in blue and left upon the shelf. Yeah, I keep that memory warm, just to remind myself. Oh, remind myself. They say that timing is everything, but timing held the night. We were two trains on parallel tracks, perfect routes for a parallel life, baby. I whisper your name into the nighttime, quiet, waiting for the past to chime. Some great loves are written only to be victims of circumstance and time. The brewing fades on that forgotten script, just the whisper of a promise from the future I skipped. Still hear the rain on the window pane. Ooh, yeah. It's just a memory, just the residual light.
The rain came down that Tuesday night, a borrowed jacket for the ride. We saw the future in the streetlights, knowing there was nowhere to hide.
You laughed about the 5-year plan, the ink still wet upon the page. A perfect story written in sand before the turning of the age.
We held on
to the lightning strike, the beautiful and sudden flare. But some stars are just too bright, and permanence was never there.
This is my unsent postcard memory, stamped with the date we knew we'd fail. A monument to the chemistry, a ship that sailed without a sail. We traded futures for one perfect moment before the cold world closed the door. And now I keep the silent component,
wishing we could want for more. Oh, wish for more. I still find traces of your smile tucked inside a quiet dream. We used to talk for just a while about that unreachable distant stream.
we called it forever, conditional, a quiet loophole in the fate. A kind of love purely correctional, arriving beautifully too late.
We held on to the lightning strike, the beautiful and sudden flare. But some stars are just too bright, and permanence was never there.
This is my unsent postcard memory, stamped with a date we knew we'd fail. A monument to the chemistry, a ship that sailed without a sail. We traded futures for one perfect moment before the cold world closed the door. And now I keep the silent component,
wishing we could want for more.
we knew the ending from the start,
a fragile masterpiece of pain.
but I wouldn't trade that stolen art for anything that could remain.
Just the echo of the promise we whispered against the rhythm of the pouring rain.
Oh, the pouring rain. This is my unsent postcard memory, stamped with a date we knew we'd fail. A monument to the chemistry, a ship that sailed without a sail. We traded futures for one perfect moment before the cold world closed the door. And now I keep the silent component,
wishing we could want for more.
a silent component,
wishing for more.
just a memory.
Yeah, that's all we have.
The rain still falls.
I still taste the coffee stain on that final night, yeah. The air was heavy, thick with residual light. We stood beneath the awning, watching the street blur, knowing the silence was the only thing we could comfort.
We paused the failure through the mist that hit the glass, a broken future we both knew could never pass. A geometry of distance began right there, a love we had to archive just to clear the air. And you held my hand like you were mapping out a line, a boundary drawn in the darkness perfectly defined. We spoke in hypotheticals of a life we couldn't keep. I still hear your voice when the city falls asleep. It was the unsigned apology, a chapter left undone. We wrote the ending in the shadow of the setting sun. Just measured distance now, a necessary tragedy, the quiet radius of impossibility.
I knew the rules were rigid, the framework built too tight. We loved in monochrome but dreamt in blinding white. There were obstacles we couldn't rationalize away, so we chose the bittersweet of yesterday. It's a residue of memory that catches me sometimes, the way we framed our ending in perfect, careful rhymes. No fiery fight, no breaking glass or final plea, just quiet resignation, setting both of us free. But every photograph, it tells a different tale, a promise whispered on a wind that had to fail. I revisit the sidewalk where we had to say goodbye, and watch the rain reflect the tears that didn't dry. It was the unsigned apology, a chapter left undone. We wrote the ending in the shadow of the setting sun. Just measured distance now, a necessary tragedy, the quiet radius of impossibility. It's the calculus of closure that I still can't seem to solve. Every forward step means deeper I dissolve. You missed the timeline, the kinetic coincidence,
just the consequence of quiet permanence.
no signature on the dotted line of regret,
but the meaning's clear in every moment we have met.
it was the unsigned apology,
A chapter left undone.
we wrote the ending in the shadow
Of the setting sun. Just measured distance now, a necessary tragedy, the quiet radius of impossibility. The perimeter kiss, that was the last we shared,
and the apology
still hanging in the air.
never signed,
Never clear,
just memory. One more hour left before the final change is locked between the lines we swore we wouldn't cross. Counting down the memory before the bitter loss.
We knew this chapter had a fixed and fading end, a masterpiece of sorrow that we couldn't mend. But look at how you smile while holding back the tear, a fragile definition of the love we hold so dear.
Don't say the word, just let the silence ring. The promise we made, the future won't bring.
This is our scheduled goodbye, perfect and clean, a photograph of bliss in the time in between. We didn't break the rules, we just bent them for a night.
Fade out the static, baby, holding on to life. Holding on to life.
That staccato rhythm of your hand upon my shoulder, every stolen second making both of us feel bolder. If I could freeze the fray right where your shadow rests, I bypass all the future, ignoring all the tests.
Don't say the word, just let the silence ring.
Oh no,
The promise we made, the future won't bring.
this is our scheduled goodbye, perfect and clean, a photograph of bliss in a time in between. We didn't break the rules, we just bent them for a night.
Fade out the static, baby, holding on to life. Impossible love, yeah, we tried to defy.
We tried, but fate keeps the score written up in the sky.
Written up high, so let the tears fall, just like the rain on the street. We made the memory whole. Now the promise is complete.
Yeah, complete. This is our scheduled goodbye, perfect and clean, a photograph of bliss in the time in between. We didn't break the rules, we just bent them for a night.
Fade out the static, baby, holding on to life. Holding on to life.
Scheduled
The neon bleeds into the window glass. It mirrors every truth that didn't last. Remember that rooftop, 98 degrees. We rode forever on a summer breeze. A silent contract sealed without a word. The grandest promise that was ever heard. We thought our laughter was a steady spine. Ignore the cracks within the blueprint line. Now the air is thick with the absence of your hand. A lonely blueprint in this desolate land. We signed the darky note without reading the fine print of how a love can die by a slow increment. This is the fall of the quiet treaty. No sudden shatter, just fading completely. We swore on forever, a foolish decree. Now the archive of that moment is only me. holds more weight than goodbye ever could. Misunderstood. That impossible smile, the geometry of light. It blinded us to everything that wasn't right. We built a palace on a fault line of doubt. Ignored the sirens just to see it out. And every shared glance was a loaded phrase, designed to carry us through all our days. But even concrete will erode with rain, leaving just a ghost of anticipated pain. Now the air is thick with the absence of your hand. A lonely blueprint in this desolate land. We signed the document without reading the fine print of how our love can die by a slow increment. This is the fall of the quiet treaty. Yeah. No sudden shatter, just fading completely. We swore on forever, a foolish decree. Now the archive of that moment is only me. The silence holds more weight than goodbye ever could. Misunderstood, and maybe we missed the asterisk when we signed. Left the pages open for the coolest kind of ending, slow and measured, just a fading sound. Tell me, was it worth it? We couldn't hold the weight of all that time. The simple truth, our promise wasn't tethered. Oh, the burden of the past, yeah. Just the rhythm of the rain and the slow regret. Oh, the memory remains. The ink dried brittle on the things we meant. The quiet treaty dissolving, slowly fading. Dissolving, slowly fading.
Remember that perfect daylight when your smile cut through the shade. Didn't know then that the moment would forever be stayed. Ticking sound on the record player, background of the street. I thought we had endless flavor, a future hard to beat. We swore we owned the horizon, thought we could hold on to the light. Now that forecast is gone and the rain started falling last night. That was the last bright second before the impossible frame. Every promise we spoke was checked and revoked, leaving only your name. Now the static of heartbreak is louder than any tune. Just a ghost of a summer fading out too soon. I trace the lines on the window pane where your silhouette used to be. A gentle farewell delivered in the pouring rain, felt meant for only me. That detuned piano melody playing back in my mind. It's the only place left for you and me to find. We swore we owned the horizon, thought we could hold on to the light. Now that forecast is gone and the rain started falling last night. That was the last bright second before the invisible frame. Every promise we spoke is checked and revoked, leaving only your name. Now the stacking of heartbreak is louder than any tune. Just a ghost of a summer, fading now too soon. Last bright second. Just the final skip and the tick, 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 tick. Ticking clock fades into final hiss.
I still see the yellow streetlights when the memory arrives, reflecting puddles from the tearful rain that night in our lives. We built a world on borrowed air, a kingdom made of haze, and swore that always was a certainty across those early days. But every whisper of a future had an ending we concealed, broken truth that only silence could reveal. I play the footage back 1,000 times, just searching for the flaw. The moment that the promised architecture started to withdraw, the frame rate stalls upon your smiling face, a tragedy I can't erase. It wasn't just a breakup, it was the crushing of a vow. The permanent goodbye is all I carry now. We swore that forever meant forever, darling. Tell me how this hollow space you left behind is all I think about. We talked for hours in that empty room, pretending walls didn't exist. We knew the clock was running down, but we couldn't resist. I taste the shadow of your cheap perfume, a ghost inside the air. We packed our dreams in matching boxes, knowing they wouldn't share. And now the distance is a tidal wave that keeps me from your shore. And I can't pretend to want anything more. I play the footage back 1,000 times, just searching for the flaw. The moment that the promised architecture started to withdraw, the frame rate stalls upon your smiling face, a tragedy I can't erase. Whoa, tragedy. It wasn't just a breakup, it was the crushing of a vow. The permanent goodbye is all I carry now. We swore that forever meant forever, darling. Tell me how this hollow space you left behind is all I think about. Oh, I think about. Maybe we were two ships sailing on an impossible tide, and the map we drew was always flawed, but we had nowhere left to hide. Tried to build a structure out of light, knowing the dark would follow. And now the future that we pictured is just bittersweet and hollow. It wasn't just a breakup, it was the crushing of a vow. Heavy, heavy vow. The permanent goodbye is all I carry now. We swore that forever meant forever, darling. Tell me how this hollow space you left behind is all I think about. All I think about. The permanent goodbye. The quiet truth we
I remember the hour, the downpour that started on that corner of two lonely worlds were parted.
You shielded your face, a beautiful struggle against a storm that made our fates juggle.
Your eyes caught mine, a shock of bright blue,
and every roadmap I followed instantly fell through.
We knew then, though we never spoke the words aloud,
The distance was already hanging in the
a
clouds,
sudden fragile truth,
reckless and true.
the moment I realized forever meant you. We etched a kilometer promise, silly and bold, a story in motion that quickly grew cold. Every mile marker, just measure the tears. We built a bright future upon vanishing years. Now the memory hits me, sharp as the static that echoes the silence that feels systematic.
Trace the outlines of that old photograph of a laughing goodbye on a split rail path.
The night is too quiet, the absence so clear.
I hear your voice fading, yet you're still right here.
They say heartbreak gets lighter the further you run, but every setting sun reminds me we're undone.
We knew then, though we never spoke the words aloud,
The distance was already hanging in the
the
clouds,
sudden fragile truth,
reckless and true. I
whispered that forever and meant it for you. We etched a kilometer promise, silly and bold, a story in motion that quickly grew cold. Every mile marker just measured the tears. We built a bright future upon vanishing years. Now the memory hits me, sharp as the static that echoes the silence that feels systematic. Tried to make the clock bend,
But gravity won when the road had to end.
a perfect dream shattered, now just empty space.
I wish I could forget the curve of your face. We had the love, but not the latitude.
Ooh, just a bittersweet, lonely attitude.
Systematic silence, I hear it still.
Just an archive of unsaid things across the hill, yeah. Kilometer promise, kilometer promise.
Just tick past midnight, same old slow refrain. I pull up the receiver, hear the static whine. Remembering that moment when your hand slipped out of mine. Staccato footsteps falling, muted by the rain. We stood beneath the awning, the world felt cold and gray.
started crashing to the ground that way. I see the faint reflection of the streetlights in your eye. You promised me a pathway beneath that cloudy sky. Static memory on the line, playing back the hurt and shine. That bittersweet goodbye underneath the cloudy sky. I rewind the tape to where we tried, where the promise died. Oh yeah, the taste of tears and sorrow, I borrow from tomorrow. A love that whispered soft and low, a secret no one had to know. The plugs and basses humming, a rhythm I can't quit. Like footsteps on wet asphalt, where the fading sunlight hit. You gave me that one smile that stopped the world for good. A blinding, sudden sunshine, misunderstood. It wasn't lack of feeling or a shifting of the heart, just rigid walls and obstacles that pulled us far apart. I heard your final whisper, a fragile fading sound. This isn't really over as the rain hit the wet ground. Static weary on the line, playing back the hurt and shine. That bittersweet goodbye underneath the cloudy sky. I rewind the tape to where we tried, where the promise died. Ooh yeah, the taste of tears and sorrow, borrow from tomorrow. A love that whispered soft and low, a secret no one had to know. Was that promise true, or just a desperate lie to shield us from the truth reflected in your eyes? The static never clears, the picture's always blurred, but every single word you spoke is perfectly preserved. Oh, preserved. I replay that last farewell scene, every single drop of rain. Just static in the rhythm of a silence. Just static in the rhythm of a silence. Hit a vinyl scratch, deeper, deeper now. Static memories. Still oh yeah. Goodbye. Goodbye. I still recall that Tuesday rain, the coffee shop where we first met. It wasn't planned, just destiny, a smile I couldn't soon forget.
You walked right in, a splash of light, changing all my dim lit nights. We traded stories, hopes and fears, wiped away a decade of cold years.
We talked of stars and open roads, of futures that we swore were true. We built a world so bright, so fast, forgetting obstacles we knew.
I promised you my very best, a secret that was laid to rest. We clung to hours, minute by minute, wishing we could only stay in it.
We knew the mileage in between, the things we couldn't overcome. But in that moment all was green, before the silence made us numb. We chased a feeling fleeting and free, that maybe forever could be. It was a one-way coincidence, a beautiful mistake in time. We crossed the line of consequence, leaving only fragments of the sublime. A whispered word of
design still makes the broken heart feel fine. It was a one-way coincidence, a beautiful mistake in time. We crossed the line of consequence, leaving only fragments of the sublime. A whispered word, a final tear. We knew forever couldn't stay here. Just a perfect memory to hold, the consequence of falling in the cold.
We stood there speechless on the platform, watching the clock run down to zero.
The promise broke like a heavy storm. Where did we go, my silent hero?
If only love was strong enough
to cut the wire and call the bluff. It was a one-way coincidence, a beautiful mistake in time. We crossed the line of consequence, leaving only fragments of the sublime.
a whispered word, a final tear.
We knew forever couldn't stay here.
Couldn't stay here.
Just a perfect memory
To hold the consequence of falling in the cold.
one-way coincidence.
We knew the consequence.
But I wouldn't trade that single smile,
Ooh, I wouldn't trade it.
if only for a little while.
The accidental promise
Fading out.
yeah, yeah. The clock is a whisper, the rain against the pain. Just one more hour left before the final change. It's like between the lines we swore we wouldn't cross, counting down the memory before the bitter loss.
We knew this chapter had a fixed and fading end, a masterpiece of sorrow that we couldn't mend. But look at how you smile while holding back the tear, a fragile definition of the love we hold so dear.
Don't say the word, just let the silence ring.
Oh no,
The promise we made, the future won't bring.
this is our scheduled goodbye, perfect and clean, a photograph of bliss in the time in between. We didn't break the rules, we just bent them for a night. Fade out the static, baby, holding on to life.
That staccato rhythm of your hand upon my shoulder, every stolen second making both of us feel bolder. If I could freeze the frame right where your shadow rests, I'd bypass all the future, ignoring all the tests. Don't say the word, just let the silence ring.
Oh no,
The promise we made, the future won't bring. This is our scheduled goodbye, perfect and clean, a photograph of bliss in the time in between.
we didn't break the rules, we just bent them for a night.
Fade out the static, baby, holding on to life.
Impossible love, yeah, we tried to defy,
We try.
but fate keeps the score written up in the sky.
It's written up high.
So let the tears fall just like the rain on the street. We
time in between. We didn't break the rules, we just bent them for a night. Fade out the static, baby, holding on to life.
Holding on to life.
Holding on to life.
Scared you goodbye. You
We met by the water stain under the drizzle of June. You were sketching out some theory beneath the light of the moon. I saw the angle of your smile, a perfect line I couldn't resist. A sudden shift in my whole world, a future I hadn't yet kissed. I knew the calculus was shaky, the geometry unsound, but I love the way you made the pavement feel like sacred ground. You were always my contingency plan, the soft landing when I fell, a borrowed chapter, a temporary man, the story I couldn't tell. We built a house upon the sand, defying gravity's rule, but a love without an anchor hand was always bound to cool. Yeah. Remember whispering forever, like we invented the phrase in those midnight hours together, blurring all the complicated days. We traded secrets for promises, ignoring every warning sign. We spoke of futures far away, crossing boundaries that weren't mine. I held your hand and saw the bright world through the filters of your hope, but every bright star has its burden dangling on a fragile rope. You were always my contingency plan, the soft landing when I fell, a borrowed chapter, a temporary man, the story I couldn't tell. We built a house upon the sand, defying gravity's rule, but a love without an anchor hand is always bound to cool. Bound to cool. Now the archive of our moments feels heavy, weighted down. That engineered joy dissolved completely, nowhere to be found. I traced the edges of your photograph. Was it ever meant? Just a quiet aftermath, half-life of a laugh, yeah, the fact. We signed the papers of our sorrow when the rain began to pour. There are no backups left to borrow, nothing we can fight for. You were always my contingency plan, the soft landing when I fell, a borrowed chapter, a temporary man, the story I couldn't tell. We built a house upon the sand, defying gravity's rule, but a love without an anchor hand is always bound to cool. Always bound to cool. Just the memory of rain and that angle of your face, your face. Oh, they made stuck in this empty space. The contingency plan failed. The weather report was cruel, a low fidelity gray. I kept my collar high, just trying to navigate my way. I didn't clock the sidewalk until the lamplight caught your face. A momentary glitch of time, lost in this urban space. Remember when we swore that forever was the easy part? Now it's just two strangers tracing constellations of the heart. We traded promises for quiet, a calculated smooth retreat, and yet the memory stands up every time our two paths meet. This is the archive after dark, a neon lace low-key haunt. We stand here
trading silence, a future that we couldn't flaunt. The impossible equation, the sum of all our separate tears. We built a moment perfect, but it couldn't survive the years. That slow smile on your mouth, it's a photograph I thought I filed. I know the architect of that sadness, the version reconciled. We called it closure, an intellectual cultured alibi. But the geometry of distance still makes my memory cry. The rain sounds like applause for the dramatic way we failed to stay. And that impossible love is a price we both had to pay. This is the archive, after dark, a neon-laced low-key horn. We stand here trading silence, a future that we couldn't flaunt. The impossible equation, the sum of all our separate tears. We built a moment perfect, but it couldn't survive the years. Maybe some loves are meant to only run on borrowed time, a perfect narrative that doesn't fit the current paradigm. We learned the lesson hard, watch the great promise hit the wall. Yeah, it had to fall. Now we just recall the light, refusing to recall the fall, refusing to fall. The rain keeps washing down the fact, just the silence, no turning back. No turning back. The archive closes for the night, dimming the residual light, fading out of sight.
I remember the geometry of that Tuesday. The downtown stop, the unexpected delay. You were running dry beneath the broken leaves, a sudden flash of color through the falling leaves. We traded silent smiles, a perfect random grace, before the rain erased the memory of the space.
It was only a moment, but it felt like a map, unrolling futures where we couldn't go back. I saw the whole world painted in that brief light. Thought forever was promised in the middle of the night. Oh,
we were unmet forecast, darling, the beautiful mistake.
a fragile, perfect symmetry that time refused to take. We built a memory palace on a foundation made of mist, a love that started golden, sealed with a final faded kiss. They say impossible loves are the ones that hurt the most. Just residual light from a long abandoned coast. I trace the promise on the window pane when it's dark, the echo of your laughter hidden its initial mark. That accidental meeting held the ending in its hand, a sweet coincidence we couldn't understand. We were the unmet forecast, darling, the beautiful mistake, a fragile, perfect symmetry that time refused to take. We built a memory palace on a foundation made of mist, a love that started golden, sealed with a final faded kiss.
Maybe we knew then, beneath the city lights, that some bright things are meant for momentary flight.
Momentary flight. I whisper your name to the shadows when the night is deep. A lovely sadness is the secret that I keep. Secret I keep. We had the beginning, but we couldn't find the chain. We were sunshine, promise delivered, only rain. Unmet forecast, still living in the shadow of that sweet goodbye.
Goodbye, yeah.
We knew the cost, just a perfect picture we had to let fading out slow, yeah.
still recall the rain check day, the smile you wore that night, the effortless coincidence that turned the world to light. We traced forever in the conversation on the window glass. I swore our promise was a thing that nothing could surpass. But forever is a long, unstable word we couldn't keep. And though the dreams were vivid, darling, they were built too steep. Ooh, yeah.
I knew the distance when we met, the obstacle we faced, the happy fragile bubble that the real world soon erased. We tried to run against the tide, we fought the falling tear, pretended every promise made was one we held so dear.
But love like ours demands a price the future cannot pay. Sometimes holding on too tight just makes the memories gray.
So let the last look be the brightest canvas we have known,
before the paint begins to crack and silence makes us stone. We'll turn this chapter into silver, seal it up inside, a perfect artifact of passion where our truths reside. Let's make this memory untouchable, a place we keep with grace. The only way to save the smile is leave the time and space. This quiet farewell is the key, the necessary move to build a museum of us, darling, where nothing has to prove. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, the night air feels heavy now, devoid of where we go. But better this clear ending than a decade moving slow. We'll turn this chapter into silver, seal it up inside, a perfect artifact of passion where our truths reside. Let's make this memory untouchable, a place we keep with grace. The only way to save the smile is leave the time and space. This quiet farewell is the key, the necessary move to build a museum of us, darling, where nothing has to prove. Just trust the turning key. I swear I see the reason now,
The logic setting free. And though our hearts are breaking now, we know the choice is pure.
we stop the clock right here and now,
Ensuring it endures.
perfect path,
never meant to display
this
quiet goodbye. volume cracked on the radio dial. The perfect timing, it made me smile. You walked the platform as the train rolled slow. A random meeting, where did time go? My world got brighter just because you were near. A blinding moment that conquered the fear. We traded futures for a minute of stare. Just a coincidence hung in the evening air. I tried to memorize the curve of your grin, the impossible love that we couldn't let win. We spoke of always as the rain started falling, but didn't know the cost of the love we were calling. And I still hear the ticking promise now, a broken forever. I don't know how we locked the moment to the wrong second hand. A fragile future we couldn't command. That wanted tune piano plays our tune underneath the solitary moon. Ticking promise keeps me awake at night, chasing the ghost of a fading bright light. The ticking promise keeps me awake at night. The shuffle beat sounds just like my old shoes. Walking the pavement, avoiding the news of what you're doing now or who keeps your time. I trace the outline of that forgotten rhyme. The memory is clear, but the vision is blurred. Every single vow you whispered, every word was an obstacle course built out of fine sand. But back then my heart just misunderstood. Tried to memorize the curve of your grin, the impossible love that we couldn't let win. We spoke of always as the rain started falling, but didn't know the cost of the love we were calling. And I still hear the ticking promise now, a broken forever. I don't know how we locked the moment to the wrong second hand. A fragile future we couldn't command. That wanted tune piano plays our tune underneath the solitary moon. Ticking promise keeps me awake at night, chasing the ghost of a fading bright light. Ticking promise keeps me awake at night. We swore the always was unbreakable truth, a wasted whisper from our reckless youth. Now the clock is skipping, stuck in the fate. The biggest gamble that we ever made was believing we could slow the speed of time. Yeah. Just a memory. 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 Just a memory.
Standing where the streetlights first went dim, underneath the awning where we started at the brim of a story written fast, a perfect storm of chance. I remember every stutter, every awkward shifting glance.
Tonight the air is heavy, but it's silent, not a fight. Just a final confirmation that our stars are out of line.
Magic built on borrowed time, a beautiful display.
We tried to stretch the sunset, but the morning came today.
Oh, the last coincidence, the only truth we own. We knew this perfect memory was built to stand alone. We traded all our promises for soft and sad goodbyes. It's better ending cleanly with the love still in our eyes. Better ending now. We're closing up the chapter where the falling felt so sweet.
I hold the memory of your smile when the world felt newly bright. It was a sudden collision, felt like destiny that night. We put up every barrier, we fought the common dread. But some love stories only live inside your heart and head. The rain is starting softly, just to wash away the pain. We can't go back to sunshine, we can't start this over again.
It was magic built on borrowed time, a beautiful display.
We tried to stretch the sunset, but the morning came today.
Oh, the last coincidence, the only
truth we own. We knew this perfect memory was built to stand alone. We traded all our promises for soft and sad goodbyes. It's better ending cleanly with the love still in our eyes. Better ending now. We're closing up the chapter where the falling felt so sweet.
No tears tonight, just gratitude for every moment past.
The memory is priceless, it was never meant to last.
We knew the script was flawed, dear.
We loved it anyway.
Yeah.
Let the ticking clock remind us of the time we had to
Oh, the
play.
time we had. Only time we
This
lived.
perfect memory was built to stand alone. Ooh, we traded all our promises for soft and sad goodbyes. It's better ending cleanly with the love still in our eyes. Still in our eyes. So sweet.
Just the last coincidence.
This is the end.
Tis the end.
Just the last.
We're letting go.
We're letting go.
I traced the phantom outline of your smile, a simple, perfect thing. The world was color saturated then, before the reckoning. We built a fragile fortress out of time, beneath the blinding sun, and never spoke the fragile truth aloud, that our short race was run.
I remember staring at the clock, the moment that you left. The silent sudden rain began to fall, stealing every breath.
No grand dramatic farewell or a fight, just truth laid bare and cold. A future that we swore would stretch forever, quickly growing old. It was a half-distance promise, sworn across the miles we knew we'd meet. A perfect love impossible to keep, a bitter, strange defeat. We held a promise tight within our hands and let the ending start.
Just fade an echo chamber of the past.
Still beating in my heart.
Do you still feel the weight of what we swore when night begins to creep? Do those soft, careless words we spoke in truth still haunt you in your sleep?
We knew the road was crooked from the start. We saw the steep incline, but chose to love like boundaries didn't exist, believing we'd be fine.
The memories tethered to the pain, a beautiful regret. I gave you all the brightness I possessed and haven't found it yet.
We made a heaven for a week or two, then watched the walls collapse. And every perfect photograph we took is stained by the elapsed.
How do Remember that June sidewalk, the city was all gray. A random orbit crossed, throwing all my plans away. You held that worn out textbook, smiling at the rain slow drop. It wasn't a grand entrance, just a sudden stillness where time would stop. We talked of vintage vinyl and theorems we barely knew. A casual collision, and suddenly the world felt new. It was accidental symmetry, a perfect line drawn wrong, a beautiful impossible song. We built a memory out of air and the truth we couldn't hide, that the shape of our forever had nowhere to reside. Accidental symmetry, etched deep within the ache. The promises we whispered sounded hollow in the light. We knew the future waited, heavy as a long cold night. See, our geometry was flawed, we were parallel, not linked. Two separate trains running, never closer than we think. I trace your soft contour now, when the streetlights blur and fade. The ghost of that first meeting, a bittersweet parade. It was accidental symmetry, a perfect line drawn wrong, a beautiful impossible song. We built a memory out of air and the truth we couldn't hide, that the shape of our forever had nowhere to reside. Accidental symmetry, etched deep within us. Yeah, the symmetry. The symmetry, yeah, the symmetry. The world told us no softly, like a distant closing door. And even that simple pardon felt like something so much more. I wouldn't trade the fleeting for a lifetime built on lies. Just that brief, bright coincidence reflected in your eyes. Call and respond, tell me, was it worth it? Oh, it was worth it. Oh, was access in a symmetry, a perfect line drawn wrong, a beautiful impossible song. We built a memory out of air and the truth we couldn't hide, that the shape of our forever had nowhere to reside. Accidental symmetry, etched deep within the age. Just 2 points of light, faded in the fall, still tracing the arc of our impossible love. Gotta let it go. Symmetry, accidental.